think there's anybody out there who's named Ben Laden?
Yeah.
Has to be.
Do you want me to look it up on
Just
Facebook?
look it up on.
Yeah, well, look it up on Facebook. Ben Laden. You got to change the name at that point, right? Or do you lean into it? And that way, like when you meet up with a stranger for the first time, they're like relieved. They're like, "Whew, at least it's not that Bin Laden."
I'm gonna put Benjamin Laden.
Benjamin Laden. Yeah, you got to go by like Benji.
Because Ben Laden only shows up as Bin Laden.
No,
But spell Laden differently, like.
No, Laden.
or it could be like L. Yeah,
Dude, there's
It could be-
Laten.
or
I'm
LA
having
No,
34 results on LinkedIn immediately.
on LinkedIn. Ben Laden on
Ben
LinkedIn.
Laden. This one works at Facebook.
Big T, how much would it cost for you to name your firstborn Ben Laden?
Well, considering that's probably not even legal, I wouldn't do that.
What do you mean it's not legal?
I mean, if you named your kid Bin Laden, your kid would be taken from you.
No, there's a ton of Bin Ladens. Bin Laden's family was actually very high up in the Saudi royal family. They're
Yeah,
like
that's not
royal
naming your
builders.
kid Bin Laden in 2022.
No,
here.
but like it's a last name.
Sure.
I had
for
a bunch of
family of people that already existed.
yeah,
not
but
naming your kid that.
no, but you could 100% do it. I'm pretty sure there was a kid who was named Hitler, and the only reason that
Yeah, I'm
And those kids
you
get
should-
taken away.
You should probably not name your kid Hitler.
no, but the only reason it became issues because a cake company didn't want to put it on a birthday
no,
cake.
I think there were probably issues before that. I don't think that was the first time anybody was like, "Oh my god, I just realized that your name was Hitler."
I know, but like you can get away with it. I'm pretty sure it's
I
freedom
can't
of
fulfill this
speech.
cake order. Of course you can get away with it. I think
I
that
grew up with a bunch of kids named Osama.
yeah, but that's
There's like
That's
It's a common
different.
name.
I know it's
Osama's
a common
very-
name, but Bin Laden is also a pretty common name.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. Look
I
at
don't know about that.
Ben Laden.
yeah.
Bin Laden?
Bin Laden is probably a very common name.
There's no way.
Yeah.
New Jersey couple loses custody of son named Adolf Hitler.
But check out how they figured it out. It was because of the cake. I'm pretty sure.
I think like when
This
you
kid was-
register your child with the government and like sign them up to be a citizen.
This kid was really flying under the radar for for his entire life till they fucked up and went to Chuck E. Cheese one day. Got pulled out by
The New Jersey parents who gave
Brown
their children
shirts.
Nazi-inspired names, including Adolf Hitler, lost custody after a state appeals court ruled that a history of domestic violence puts the children at risk of abuse and neglect. So was it because
no, you
it
can't.
wasn't even because of the names?
You can,
Yeah, that's
you
what I'm
can
saying.
Name your kid whatever
Yeah.
you want.
That's First Amendment.
Yeah, the government can't tell you what to name your children.
Like look at like fucking
No, but if you want to name your child Osama bin Laden or Adolf Hitler, I think you have other issues
Problems.
at hand.
Yeah,
Of
they-
course.
Like this couple who named their baby Adolf Hitler found guilty of being members of a banned neo-Nazi group.
Exactly.
yeah, so that's why
Probably
they take your
underlying
baby away.
issues.
Yeah,
Could
there's
go to your
underlying
house,
there's
they're like-
underlying issues that have to go hand in hand.
These
with naming
flags
your
aren't
child
cool.
Hitler.
Could you, in theory, and I'm only saying this like as a discussion about free speech, could you name your child, "I'm going to murder the president," as their first name?
Wouldn't that be inciting violence?
Or like,
Yeah, I don't think that one would fly.
Just the
Yeah.
nickname there.
the nickname is "I'm literally planning on murdering the president."
You could only get away with that in the Trump administration.
No, I'm saying like, can a name be a call to violence or like an implication of violence?
Well, if you say your name out loud, wouldn't that be an
But
inciting violence?
but it would just be your name.
So just to combat that dumb shit Billy said, when I was in college, in 2008, right? 2008 was the first year Obama was elected. The day after, right? I think I might have said this too, but the day after he was elected, there's this thing at UT. You know The Rock, Big T?
Of course.
It's like
I
a-
have one on my desk. You saw it.
Right, where people paint, like you can paint whatever, like it's just like a tradition. You can just graffiti it up, and it's a really dope tradition. So the day after, there was cotton balls all over the Black Cultural Center. They put like they just spent a lot of money on cotton swap, the cotton balls all over the Black Cultural Center, and on the rock it said, "That nigger's not my president." And in other places there were pictures, dolls of him getting hanged and shit. Like it was like it should happen all the time, bro. It
Right.
wasn't just Donald Trump, bro.
But that wasn't legal.
Oh, that was your argument. Okay.
Yeah.
You can't. Are you talking about like the Kathy Griffin This is always funny to me, like when people's big arguments about like how unfairly Donald Trump was treated. It's always like the worst celebrities that no side really claims. It's like Kathy Griffin got away with cutting off a pretend head of Donald Trump. It's like nobody gives a fuck what Kathy Griffin thinks.
I was trying to make a witty joke. It's not that big of a deal. Like,
No, bet.
Kathy Griffin speaks for nobody, not even herself.
I had a fire tweet. One of my tweets hit. That was from the drafts.
Okay.
Yeah. Check this out.
Which one?
This formula shortage is a blessing and a curse. People have to resort to protein powder, and all the babies will get huge gains. Hard times make hard men make good times. Boom.
All right. Great.
Yeah.
Great draft, Billy. Everybody go read Billy's blog, Beer and Clothing in Las Vegas. A recap of his time spent out there with Baval.
Yeah, check that out.
Check it out. And also,
So do you got like notes in your phone like of potential tweets?
Well, I fire from the hip a lot, and I try to workshop some. It's it's an art.
Is it? It sounds to me like it's just taking notes.
It's an art, dude. You know who takes notes? Eminem on napkins, because he thinks of a lyric and he writes it down. Same thing that I do.
The worst people are the how long has this one been in your drafts people? Like I don't have.
How could that even be? Yours are so reactionary. Like yours could only be on the spot.
Yeah, I don't have a draft. You know what my draft folder consists of? Tweets that I started typing out and then halfway through realized made no sense, and then I hit cancel, and then it says, "Do you want to save this to drafts?" And I accidentally click save to drafts. That's purely what it is right now.
Or sometimes you go to send a tweet and it's like this tweet can't be sent for some fucking reason. And it just automatically saves it. That's most of them.
Yep.
I don't know if I have any drafts. How do you drafts?
Empty the clip.
They're not in my drafts. These notes are taken in a separate place. So it didn't come from my drafts.
I think I did what you did, and I should have fired this one off.
What did it say?
I got two, and I think they was both on accident. It said, somebody said, it was 5 days ago, Louisiana is voting on a bill to criminalize IUDs and plans on charging women with murder for using them. And I said, making Mother Teresa proud. I should have let that one fly. It's too late now. The news is passed. Deleted.
Oh,
Yeah, people are over that abortion thing.
Yeah.
Wait. Did they say it was gonna baptize?
What?
Wait, I didn't get it.
IUDs is like contraceptive for women. Like, and that was what Mother Teresa was known for, was stopping contraceptive. Like, she went on campaigns to stop contraceptive, like in Africa. Places who need it.
If you really wanted a stat pad like Mother Teresa, never mind.
Okay, here's
your thoughts go to drafts.
yeah, that's true. Billy's frontal lobe just saved that one in the folder. Okay, so here's my drafts right now. I guess this was from on Tuesday. This one just didn't send. This game is the most offensive thing to ever air on a Tuesday night on ESPN2 is something that I said. I guess that was in reference to Barstool Van Talk. What a great night of sports. Let's hear it for sports in the chat. I guess I decided that one wasn't a banger, so maybe I just don't like sports. I don't know.
Was that a Jake original?
Yeah, I was doing a satire of Jake Marsh. Classic Boston fan base. Should be ashamed of yourselves for, and then I just don't have anything else. Just everything.
I mean, you could have that one at the ready.
Just write a blank check for that one.
You fill in the blank for the next time we do something.
Yeah, just plug and play. Jesus had depression too. Brought to you by Pfizer, and then it just kind of trails off. So I don't know, again, what I was going for with that one. Those are my drafts. So that's my draft folder. I want to get into something that Coley brought up on Tuesday's show, and he tweeted about this yesterday. I thought it was an interesting topic. I'm sorry if we interrupted you as you were about to cook. Oh, hey there. Hello. How's she doing? Arian's daughter's on camera right now.
She's chilling, man. You want to say hi? Say hi to the people.
Ask her what her favorite movie is.
Hey, what's your favorite movie? Paw Patrol.
Oh.
It's a good one.
Hate that goddamn movie.
Propaganda.
ACAB.
Yeah, what? Yeah, ACAB, Aaron. What are you teaching your daughter about law enforcement?
Dogs and cops, bro.
Yeah.
That's facts, huh? I gotta stop
Bro,
this shit.
dude,
This guy.
indoctrination, bro.
It's funny.
Banned.
Like everyone thinks that when they grow up, they all rebel against their parents, and then they become their parents, and they're like, "That's not going to be me. I'm going to be a cool parent. I'm going to be like, whatever your interests are." And then boom, your daughter's like, "I love cops and their dogs."
And dogs that are cops.
Yeah, dog cops specifically.
Then you start watching Cops.
Yeah, yeah. You're gonna try to watch different shows to relate to her. Pretty soon, you're gonna have a Blue Lives Matter sticker on the back of your car, Aaron.
Just like I support my.
Don't tread on me shirt. Hell yeah. Let's get it.
But yeah, Coley brought this up on Tuesday's show, and I'm sorry if we moved on too quickly from it, because I do agree that there's some meat on the bone. Coley was talking about his favorite movies that he's ever seen only once. So what was the example that you gave?
So we talked about Collateral the other day, and I think that's probably the best movie that I've only seen in full. Like I feel like Collateral had a big TNT run where you'd catch the end of it right before the NBA started, stuff like that. So I've definitely seen scenes a couple more times, but I've only seen it in its entirety once, and I owned it. It was a tremendous film. And I got a lot of support for people agreeing that it was tremendous, but I just didn't know if like you guys had, like everyone always talks about the classic movie that they just haven't gotten to yet. I feel like this is its own thing. Like, no, I agree. That's a really good movie. I've just never, I don't know. Anytime I've been like, oh, what do I want to watch right now? It always loses out to something else. And it might not even be a better movie, but Collateral was really good. I feel like Phone Booth also is in here.
Yeah.
The Colin Farrell classic, which could not be remade today. Just because people wouldn't understand.
Limitless is a dope ass movie I've only seen once. Yeah.
Oh, that's a dumb movie.
I haven't seen that movie. I need to check it out.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna play that game with you.
I'm gonna watch it.
I'm sure you are.
I will watch
I
it.
saw that in 7th grade, and I was like,
What did you think that it could do for you?
get me an ADHD diagnosis.
I don't think that would have been too hard for you to pull off, Billy.
No, that was how I was convinced. Go watch this movie.
Billy's like, "Mom, can we go to the doctor and can we pretend that I'm a weirdo?" My movie that I immediately thought of, and I think I'm in the same boat on Collateral. Actually, I would say if you asked me, one of the great like action thriller movies of the 2000s, but I've only seen it once. I had Good Will Hunting on here.
Okay.
I saw it once.
I've never seen it.
It's a good movie.
I heard it's a classic.
It's a great Arian. I think you would actually really like that movie.
I think so too. I've seen enough clips about it.
I also think it's a great rewatch movie.
It probably is. It's just I saw it one time in the theaters.
Is that the Joan with Mark Wahlberg?
No.
Pretty much, yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
again, Boston.
Yeah, no, that's also Mark Wahlberg.
Matt Damon and Ben Affleck.
Yeah.
And Robin Williams. But basically Mark Wahlberg.
I've gotten that shit wrong so many times.
It's perfectly
It's-
understandable.
I don't understand how we've talked about this many Boston movies. You've asked if Wahlberg's in it, and the answer's been no every time. Like there aren't many movies.
That was in Boston. I didn't know that. I didn't know it was set in Boston.
Yeah, it's very much a Boston movie.
Like I think we've named all the non-Wahlberg Boston movies, other than like Blue Hill Ave, which is probably the Boston movie you'd like the most.
Mars.
Oh, with Matt Damon.
Fuck! I did it again. Why are those two like synonymous in my head?
They do look like very two stereotypical Irish.
Hold on, maybe I'm
people.
thinking of.
They look alike. I'll be the
They
first
do,
to say.
yeah, that's fair.
They've got like the same head shape.
What you're doing right now is like synonymous with a lot of the discrimination Irish Americans face coming to this country.
They do look alike. Nah, they do look alike. Fuck that. Kinda. I mean,
They
Same
look alike.
vibe.
Yeah, they look alike. But
Who was was it the Colts defensive back who just said like, oh, that's Tom Brady, and it was like not like it just became you Tom Brady. It was like 6 or 7 years ago.
that wasn't Bob Sanders, was it?
No, he wasn't in the league then. It might not even be the Colts. Someone was just talking about Tom Brady when they very much weren't playing the Patriots.
I don't remember that one.
I don't know. All I know is that Good Will Hunting I enjoyed when I saw it in the theaters. I was also in 7th grade at the time, so I'm sure a lot of it went over my head. I'd like to see it again.
Matt Damon. Yeah, I'm gonna check it out.
I think I've only seen Avatar once. It's good though.
Just because you're a beta.
I saw it in theaters with the glasses and the 3D.
That's not the way to watch
What?
movies in general. I'm a big anti 3D glasses.
No, dude. I mean,
That shit's trash,
did you
dog.
ever see Avatar in theaters with the 3D?
I did. I saw Avatar at least 8 times in the theaters.
In
In IMAX, regular theaters.
Yeah, I saw it.
3D,
It was
all.
a $40 ticket when it came out. It was expensive.
I don't remember that being the case.
Yeah, I don't recall that.
You
either.
know, I remember it being super expensive. It was right when
Because
movies.
what it came. It's right when movies came out.
No,
when did it come out?
Yeah,
It came out- when did it come out? It's like 2009.
yeah,
It was not that
2009, dude. It was $40 again in the movie, and I was like, I just remember like I was 9.
Did you see it like in James Cameron's house? Why was yours so much more
It was
expensive?
expensive as fuck.
You could be correct. I just don't recall that being the case.
This
You
guy
went to,
said
like, the
his Avatar
Times
ticket
Square
cost
IMAX.
$10.50.
What?
This guy said his Avatar ticket cost $10.50.
Did he see it in the 3D? Like,
I don't know.
I think it was only in 3D.
no, dude, it came out IMAX.
I would
3D.
guess. I would
mean-
guess that 3D
I mean, you
wasn't
would
a
think-
300% difference.
I
You
swear
would
to
think
God,
it was only in 3D. That's how amazing the graphics.
It
were.
may have been. I just remember paying $40 for it. I think it might have been 2 tickets. It was $20. Like, it was an expensive ticket. I remember. There's
Did
gonna
you
be people
buy hot
backing up.
dogs? That might have been. That'd have been.
I just remember being
The film,
super expensive.
this is from 2009. The film is playing in 3,452 theaters, about 60% of which are charging an additional $3 to $5 for the 3D presentation.
Add it up.
Billy got taken for a ride, sounds like.
Not $40.
No, I'm pretty sure where I saw it.
You $40.
I think I saw it. I think I saw it when it was early.
They probably knew that the information movie would be dangerous if Billy were to get a hold of it. So they're trying to limit
No,
it.
I
They're trying to keep
saw
Price
it.
them out.
I saw it in
Yeah.
New York City, and I think I saw it in one of the first releases, and it was a very expensive ticket. I was 9, didn't have much allowance money. It
You
really.
had $40 when you were 9?
Yes, what I'm saying. One, you had $40, and 2, you was by yourself.
I
You paid for it.
yes, I went to go.
Hold on.
This story is not adding up.
You-
I've been taking the subway since I've been like 8.
Okay.
So you stood on your tippy toes at the movie theaters and slid 220s to the clerk
wasn't
and
my-
said, one for Avatar 3D, please.
I
Wasn't
think
that PG-13?
I
It had
think
to
I
have
was.
been PG-13.
You can get in. You just couldn't get into R-rated movies. I'm pretty
That's
sure.
not what PG-13 means.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter. I think I
This nigga
went.
was really lost in New York Home Alone on some Avatar.
No, I
movies.
wasn't. I was a very independent child from a young age.
Billy's
Billy paid it.
Billy
Billy
walking
paid with
down-
a credit card.
Billy
I was
walking down
10.
Fifth Avenue in a suitcase and a tie.
I was 10. I was 10. It was 2009. I was 10, and I had I
Oh, now
had
you're
allowance.
10.
Look, my parents were the types where they wanted me to pay my own money for everything, so I'd understand the cost of money and like be able to be like, oh, you want to go see the Avatar movie? You have to pay for it yourself. How much money do you have?
This is a
Oh.
guy who declared bankruptcy a week and a half ago.
Yeah, because I got robbed by the state of West Virginia and our own fucking expense company. I'm actually,
Whoa.
I went up there like I
Billy tries to wave down a cab after he gets out of the movie. Unbelievable. Just unbelievable.
no, I saw it downtown.
You too, brother.
Discriminating against me. Yeah. They won't pick up 9-year-olds.
I was 10. I was 10. And,
Listen, I might be 10, but I'm still a person.
and I was pretty tall at 10.
My money spends too.
I was like 5'3", 5'4" when I was 10.
Sick.
I could see over.
Billy was
The-
dunking.
Normal adult size, yes.
Yeah. People thought I was a lot older. Oh, so we
Until you
now,
talk. Yeah.
we,
Oh my god, it's hilarious.
we now have our very first dude who's coming in. Spin Zone, it's a dudette.
Woohoo!
All right. So this is the guy of the week.
This is our guy of the week.
Billy's guy of the
Neutral.
week.
Introduce yourself to the listeners.
Hello, Billy's
Hi.
guy of the week.
How's it going?
It's good.
How are you?
What's your name?
I'm Liz. So I think I'm technically an animal science guy, right? I don't know.
Ooh, animal science guy. Okay, so you're an animal science guy.
Yeah, I'm an animal science guy. So I have a degree in animal science and conservation ecology. So I work for like a nonprofit doing just like random outdoor stuff pretty much.
Okay.
What are some of your current projects you're working on?
So right now I work in more of like a volunteer role. So not like just like regular park maintenance, like invasive species pools and like that kind of stuff. Nothing super crazy. I haven't done any research or anything, but when I was in college, I studied mostly like livestock and farm animals, and then realized I hated veterinary medicine. So I got into conservation ecology and wildlife.
So how did you find out about Billy's list, and what made you think to yourself, you know what? I feel like I could be a guy.
Honestly, I was just kind of trolling my boyfriend.
Nice.
He's a huge, like, loves PFT, big fan. And yeah, he got me into macrodosing. So I'm a regular macrodosing listener, but like I'm not a like barstool guy necessarily.
Okay.
So I got the merch just to emphasize the troll against him.
Appreciate it.
He's definitely been jealous of me DMing Billy and things. It's
Yeah.
very-
Yeah, no, Billy's list has become its own ecosystem, which I really appreciate. So you have been studying animals for a while. Is it fair to say like you get along better with animals than with people? Has that always been like a connection you've had?
Yeah, definitely. Sorry if I'm like weird right now because I'm like not a big talker normally.
No, it's okay.
No worries.
We'll make this
Yeah,
painless.
so I'm definitely do way better hanging out with animals than I do people or like outside in general.
What's your favorite animal?
favorite animal?
Billy
Probably
will judge you.
Well, you can judge me. I feel like I have a good reason. I feel like my favorite animal is a cow because I studied and worked with a lot of cows. I had a whole class where like my final exam was just like breaking a cow and teaching it how to like walk with you. So like my day to day in the class was just going on walks with this cow around a farm and like making it my friend. So
Did you get like evaluated on that? Was there a teacher who was like, yeah, that's some good walking?
I did get an A, but I did place last in the like actual walking part. My cow stopped and took a shit in the middle of the ring. So I think I lost points for that.
What were your observations on some of like the personalities of a cow? Like different from other animals, like a dog or a cat. You know, a cat's very independent. A dog's very, sociable. Like, what's a cow like?
Honestly, really social, like once you get to know them. But I was working with them I was working with like babies, like little cows. And I worked with cows of all ages. But in that class specifically where I was like working with one cow, it was a little guy. And he was just like, we really became like friends. He knew when I was getting there at 4 p.m. every day, he'd run up to like the side of the gate and was like waiting for me, ready to go. But it was really interesting because like if I was there at like 2 o'clock instead of 4 o'clock, he would not want to walk around with me and like do the actual show stuff because he thought it was like playtime. But as soon as like 4 o'clock hit, he was like, all right, it's time for us to go for a walk. It was really interesting.
That's cool.
I am not a vegetarian though. But
Okay.
So you'd eat that cow that you bonded with?
it was a dairy cow, so I wouldn't have the opportunity to. But I think honestly, being in the animal science like programs, I learned a lot about like ethical meat production. So I don't know. There are friends of mine who were in the same program who thought about it a little differently than I did. But like I learned about humane slaughter and things like that. And that kind of made me, I don't know, a little bit less inclined to care about. I don't know. That sounds kind of mean.
No, I
No,
get
that's
it.
fair.
There's only certain things that you can expend your energy on caring about. You know, like,
Yeah.
and if you cared about everything that truly needs to be cared about, then you would actually care about nothing, because you would not be able to focus any energy on that. That's at least the lie that I tell myself when I'm like, yeah, I will eat any animal, bring it all. And also it's tasty.
My entire capstone was ethics in animal production. So learning about like the ethics behind like what I just learned that like what we think is like moral is like not necessarily like the most moral or ethical option.
Right.
So like I learned about like free range chickens and stuff like technically have a higher mortality rate, so they're more likely to die free range than in cages.
Wow. It's
That
too
was
much freedom.
Yeah, too much freedom. Well, chickens are like mean to each other. They'll peck each other and like hurt each other, and like disease spreads a lot quicker, and you can't like pinpoint which animal the disease is spreading from. And it was actually a study done by McDonald's, and they
Oh, I'm sure it's very accurate then. It probably says that meat is murder and nobody should eat any more hamburgers, right?
well, they were just trying to figure out like what the public perception is versus like what actually is better for the chickens. And they ended up changing to all free range chickens, even though their evidence showed it was healthier for them to be kept in cages, because the public perceived free range as a better option.
Interesting.
And now there's obviously like variables in that. Like, again, it's these lines are drawn at like weird places of like what's ethical and what's not. So it's not like a foolproof method of saying like, oh, because the mortality rate is higher, it's worse for them. But it was really interesting because they ended up switching to what was technically the least ethical option just because public perception.
That's fascinating. So I have to ask you about the Minnesota Timberwolves owner, Glenn Taylor. So he got in trouble because, have you heard about this story at all?
No.
All right. So he got in trouble because he owned a bunch of chicken farms. He was like the chicken king of Minnesota. And avian flu started to spread throughout his coops. And he had to kill a significant part of his chicken, his flocks.
Yeah.
He had to kill a bunch of chickens basically because he had to stop the virus from spreading and infecting more animals, and then, affecting people eventually, potentially. So he killed like 5.3 million chickens. And now people are like protesting Minnesota Timberwolves games, and they're like gluing themselves to the floor and doing all these crazy things. What's the strategy? Is there a better way to deal with a avian flu outbreak?
It's really difficult when you're working with like free range animals in general. I mean, I think to understand the ethics of something like that, you'd have to know what his like starting population is. There was like a PETA video going around a while ago, which in my program, we made a lot of fun of PETA propaganda because a lot of it just doesn't make any sense. Because most of the time farmers, that animal is like their livelihood, and they care a lot more about that animal's health and wellness than we do. So there was this PETA video going around of a bunch of people breaking into this farm and taking out all these chickens. And they were like, there were dead chickens in there, freaking out. And it's like, there are going to be, if you have a population of 100,000 people, someone's probably going to die at some point. It's not like the end of the world or they're like murdering chickens necessarily. So I think with like dealing with like any sort of disease, when you're trying to control the spread of it, if you can't pinpoint the exact place where it started, then it is really difficult to figure out like how do you actually go about eradicating it and stopping it from infecting a potential new flock.
Yeah, because in this case, it's like he would probably want to make money off of his chickens. That's why he's raising them. So he probably wouldn't kill all of them unnecessarily. Just as an outsider, when I heard the number 5.3 million, that sounds like a lot of chickens to me. Is that a lot of chickens?
It sounds like a lot of chickens to me also. But like, I mean, if he had 20 million chickens relative to the population he had, but also how much land does this guy have? Like, is he like just chickens all over his house, or like?
Yeah, it's just his home. He's got a mansion. That'd be something. How if somebody had like a mansion with 1 million chickens also just living with them?
I think he owns a bunch of poultry factory farms.
Yeah. Billy's ideal living situation would just be like a really, really, really sick, huge barn.
I
Yeah.
was taken from one of those.
You were taken from a manger, Billy, when you were just a baby. Does anybody have any questions for the guy of the week?
I got a couple. Regarding your work on invasive species, what kind of invasives do you deal with? Because I myself really hate invasive species such as European starlings, the long-horned Asian beetle that's taken over some trees. Kudzu is one of my least favorites.
I hate kudzu also. Kudzu sucks.
So just wondering what you're dealing with and how you're, thank you for your service for fighting the good fight.
I try my best. But, I learned very quickly when I entered environmental science that you can do the best you can with invasive species, but you're working with a living organism. So no matter what you try, a lot of the times they're still going to be around. In the park that I work in specifically, we deal with mostly garlic mustard. So it's that like really tall, I don't know.
That sounds delicious. That sounds like a Chick-fil-A sauce.
It smells like garlic when you crush it up. That's how you know you've got the right plant, because you crush it up in your hand and it smells garlicky. But that's like our primary one that we target. I mean, I've done invasive removals on like autumn olive, which is, it has like these really shiny silvery leaves and it's really pretty. And people planted that for like shrubbery.
Oh, we lost you for a second. You dropped out. Is she still connected?
I don't know.
Uh-oh.
You're muted, Aaron.
That's a funny place to freeze, though.
I had a question about kudzu for her.
I learned about kudzu
Oh,
first.
she's back.
She's
I'm
back?
here.
Oh,
There you
yeah,
go.
perfect.
Okay.
All right, you were
What-
talking about the shrubbery with the beautiful leaves that was planted.
Yeah, I mean, most invasive species started out that way or in a very similar way of someone brought it here because they were like, this is beautiful, and then it takes over. I mean, like where I live.
Oh boy.
Oh, no. Lost you again.
I think everything's fine on our end.
Well, you look like you sell cocaine right now.
Typically the look I'm going for is thank you.
Yeah, that's a big time Coke energy chain you got on.
Well, it's like basketball players dress like drug dealers. Like that's always been the aesthetic they've gone for, dating back to like the 70s. And I
So-
dress like a basketball player, so it makes sense.
So yeah, you dress like a basketball player who dresses like a drug dealer. It's like a
Yes.
double costume.
Yes, yes, exactly.
I like it.
Podcast.
okay,
Just like
we're
cops.
back.
Okay, I switched Wi-Fi's, so I'm hoping this works. I literally work from home 90% of the time. I don't know why this is happening. So
All right, it sounds
excuse
great
my
now though.
technical difficulties.
Okay, so where did we lose her?
We lost you when you're talking about how many invasive species start as being utilized for shrubbery in gardens, whatnot.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of people thinking that they're just, planting something good. And then, I mean, that's why there's so many strict laws on bringing certain plants back in and out of the country. So,
With kudzu, I heard that kudzu was started. So if you don't know what kudzu is, it's like an ivy that grows and it suffocates. It's like real big in the South. It suffocates trees and vegetation. It's from Japan, I think.
Yeah.
But I heard it was brought to the United States and it was intentionally introduced with the help of our government because it was able to keep soil together. And we were trying to prevent another Dust Bowl from ever happening. And the theory was at the U.S. Department of Agriculture that the kudzu would prevent giant dust storms from occurring. It would keep the soil from getting too loose. I don't know if you've heard anything about that, but I feel like that's the CIA introduced crack into the cities is the USDA introduced kudzu into our nation's forests.
yeah, I mean, I think that there's a lot of well-intentioned people trying to do their best to introduce new species or replenish old populations of species. And you're working with a living environment and you just really don't know how it's going to go. I mean, I don't know when it was introduced. So at the time, they might not have had the proper research to actually know what they were doing. But like my whole like capstone paper that I wrote about was about restoration versus conservation. And like if you are restoring something, then like what state are you restoring it to? Are you restoring it to what it looked like 50 years ago? Are you restoring it to what it looked like 200 years ago? Mm-hmm. Because the environment around it is constantly changing. So what's the most beneficial? And basically after like 30 pages, my conclusion was it depends. So
okay. Hard to say.
Yeah.
Fun fact on that. So turns out the ivy in Wrigley Field was introduced. It's called Boston ivy, but it's really native to Eastern Asia. And it also became an invasive species. And many people blame the large group of it in Wrigley Field.
They blame the Cubs?
Yeah, the Cubs started another invasive species.
Wow.
Yeah.
Fascinating. Cole, Arian, you guys have any questions?
Not a question, just like a comment that I like your perspective on. My daughter's in the background, excuse her. But like it's why I'm pretty apathetic towards the life and the environment in general, is because it's like once you like realize like 99% of all species have died, and like we're trying to control or save the environment, like from what? From itself, because it's eventually gonna die anyway. Like what is your take on that? Am I just an extreme pessimist, or do you feel the same way studying it?
No, I feel the same way. So a lot of what I do is also environmental education, and every time I worked with this program that was, its main focus was introducing people who don't get to go out into the park, introducing them to the park, providing free transportation, providing educational programming. And I always started out my little speech to them the same way of like, what do you think the most dangerous thing out here is? A lot of people would say like poison ivy or like whatever predators are around. And I always said, no, it's us. We are the most dangerous animal out here right now. We cause way more damage than any other species, because rather than what most species have done, which is adapt to their environment, we expect the environment to adapt to what we need. And I mean, regardless of what happens in the next 150, whatever years, the planet is going to do fine without us here. It will adapt and become whatever it becomes. And we're kind of just fucking it up along the way, but like it'll bounce back whether or not we're here. Yeah. And whatever way it does might not be ideal for human life, but might be better that way.
Not the Earth's problem.
Yeah.
Facts.
Mm-hmm.
I've got two things. One, we were talking about it the other day. What can you tell us about kangaroo crop circles?
You know, I studied in West Virginia, so I didn't do a lot of kangaroo research.
Okay.
Wasn't in our field really. What's a kangaroo crop circle?
Well, let me tell you.
Is that a long story? I don't know.
No, it's pretty basic. It's a crop circle that was created by kangaroos, because I've heard that in Tasmania, off the coast, the island off the coast of Australia, that's where they grow a very large amount of the world's legal opium that's going to be used in opiates and in medicines. So what happens is the kangaroos get into the fields, they eat the poppy flowers, and then they get high, and then they jump around in circles because they get like super high and lost, and they just go around in circles and make big designs unintentionally in the opium field. So it's something that probably happens, but I haven't really researched it.
Yeah, I can't confirm or deny that theory, but it's fun. I don't know, a bunch of high kangaroos wandering around.
That actually, yes, that sounds awesome.
Junky kangaroos.
Junky, no, they're using it.
Jumpy.
Don't label them with that stigma.
I meant jumpy kangaroos.
When I worked at a veterinary hospital, one of my favorite things was after surgeries happened, like every morning, really early in the morning, and then around like noon, 1 p.m., you'd walk by the cat room where all the cats who had just had surgery are waking up from anesthesia, and they just like freak out because they're like, where the fuck am I? Like I was in a little crate and now all of a sudden I'm in this big metal cage. They have the most interesting reactions to coming off of anesthesia, not in like a serious medical way. They just like run around and freak out and stuff. And so I think like, yeah, you don't know how an animal's going to react to like any sort of medication. I mean, we know, but.
Oh, have you guys ever seen the photos of the silverback gorilla getting surgery? And it's just a silverback gorilla on a operation table.
And it has the
Yeah.
what's that? When it has the
That's
oxygen.
Yeah, it's Google this photo if you're at home because it's insane. It's just all these tiny people like running around the giant splayed out silverback gorilla.
I don't think I want to see that.
No, but they're like just doing like a dental procedure on
but
it.
it's like oddly human.
You've
Yeah,
seen
no.
it. Yeah, you've seen
You've
it.
definitely
It's
seen
too
it.
soon from our sweet prince.
Yeah, very, very recent.
Yeah.
My other question, because I saw there's some woman on TikTok who's made it her goal to cancel golf courses. How bad for the environment are golf courses? Because she was talking about like how much water they use, how much green open space they occupy for really no reason whatsoever. Is that something you ever looked up, or is it like pretty obvious how bad they are?
I mean, I haven't looked into golf courses specifically. I did work on a nature preserve once that is it used to be a golf course, and then the golf course went under and they donated it to this local university. And the university just let it kind of grow back however it came back. And it was really interesting because they have the pre-existing cart path still there.
Mhm.
So you can like bike through it, and it's like a ton of different types of ecosystems all grew back. And like, you don't really know necessarily what it's from. Like some of it turned into it, just all different species, but all spaced out really differently on each hole. I mean, I would argue that mowing our lawns is making a worse impact than golf courses.
Ooh.
Interesting.
All right. Yeah. Speak
take.
on it. Speak
Good
on
take.
it.
Well, another thing I've done is a program about backyard habitats, and basically just how like when you're mowing your lawn, you're getting rid of a lot of these small like biodiverse communities that could potentially live there. And there are a lot more beneficial ways that you can like maintain some biodiversity and still have a usable yard. Like a lot of people have switched their yards over to like clovers and things. But yeah, like that process of just like cutting down your grass. I mean, you're destroying a lot of tiny ecosystems every time you do it, and a lot of useful plants. So
I love
yeah,
that take. That's
yeah,
such
I mean,
a good
I don't
take
know if
for
it's
like.
necessarily worse than golf courses. I don't know. Like, I need to see the exact square footage of golf course versus square footage of yards that are mowed. But
Right.
I'm assuming that there's probably more mowed lawns than there are golf courses.
They're also mowing the golf courses.
True.
They are mowed, but like the fact that we're doing both probably isn't helping anything.
Correct. Yeah, I agree with that.
So
George Carlin was like famously against golf for that very reason. Like he's like it's a useless thing. I would be so down with that. The only reason why I cut my grass is because the HOA makes me. That's the only reason. Like, if I
that's
don't
the thing.
cut-
It's like this weird standard that we have that like your yard is supposed to be like perfectly manicured. And
Yeah,
that's
it's
just
the
like
dumbest-
doesn't
I
make
hate it.
any
I hate
sense.
I hate it. They think it brings the property value down, but I'm like, whatever, bro. Like
One of my
I'm not
favorite-
moving into the. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, I would go and talk to like HOAs and stuff about like stop telling everyone they have to mow their lawns. And a lot of people would be like, but we're going to get ticks. Everyone's going to get ticks. But ticks are less prevalent in really tall grass because it's too hot for them. So when you have lower grass, there's more of an opportunity for there to be ticks living in there because there's a lot more airflow. There's a lot of little things like that that I think people just don't think about. And we're all weirdly conditioned to be like afraid of nature. And it's like, we forget the fact that we like came from like,
That's a reasonable take.
we at one point in our species lived with nature
Yeah.
and
No,
actually, you know,
what you just
mutually
did there
benefited.
was you struck a nerve with Arian. You hit a little too close to the bone.
I heard that.
Yeah,
So, like,
a little too close to the bone for Arian on that one. I think you're right. I think we do take a lot of things for granted in society. I think mowing lawns is. I like that take a lot because now every lazy husband or dad out there has an excuse to be like, well, actually, it's bad for our lawn if I do my chores. Also, like, you shouldn't take your trash out because it just goes to a landfill. Like, I like the idea of having overgrown lawns because it also, I feel like it would provide a much more interesting wildlife situation in normal, like, suburban neighborhoods. You know, like, you'd have, like, all sorts of critters running around.
I think we forget that these like places that now have like just random little boxes on them were once thriving communities of a different type. So yeah,
I think about that shit all the time. Like I'll walk down the street and like you'll see like earth coming up out of the street, and I'm like, yo, we just invented this like street. It's not supposed to be here. Like it's kind of wild, dog.
Yeah, I feel very similarly. I just don't really. I also like.
Scientists against HOA though. This should be a thing. Let's abolish all these motherfuckers or not.
I'm happy to be anti-HOA. I am a renter, so I don't know if I have any say in the argument.
Dude,
but
you absolutely do. You absolutely do.
But like, I also like, I am not like the perfect like environmentally conscious person, but I really subscribe to the idea that our government and big corporations have a way worse impact than we do using a plastic straw. And like, you can make all the impact you want to make, and it's good. It's a good thing to like try your best to like live a sustainable lifestyle. But unfortunately, we live in this like crazy capitalistic society where like you really can't. Like, as no matter how hard you do, you really can't. Like public transportation. I mean, I live in West Virginia. Public transportation, not very good around here. Like, you have to drive a car. Like, as cool as it would be for me to bike everywhere, like I can't. Like the society we live in isn't made for people to live a sustainable lifestyle. And you can try, but it makes your life a whole lot harder. And it would be a lot easier if we stopped like dumping oil in waterways. Like that would be way better.
Yeah, if they stop like strip mining and polluting entire rivers. That probably makes a little bit more of a difference than me having two separate buttons on my toilet.
Yeah, no, it would definitely be way cooler for them to just stop doing that. But that's why, like, I don't know, it's important to have people who actually care about that shit in power, which most, unfortunately, they don't. Like, I work for, like, there just became a new national parks director, like, when the Biden administration came on. Like, Trump fired him and just never hired anyone else. Like, it's just so interesting that like how much we don't care about like, and national parks is a whole nother ethical question. Because it's like, was it our land to turn into a national park in the first place? Like it's,
I thought national parks were like the reservation, the conservation of them. Am I wrong?
Yeah, no, they are like big hubs for conservation. But like when you go back to like John Muir founding the national parks, like we kicked people off of that land who like it was their home and their land to make it a spectacle for us to go and look at and be like, look at what we're preserving. Like, I don't know. I think that you can go down a big rabbit hole of like, yeah, it's good to conserve these places, but like, are we the people who are supposed to be doing it in the first place? It's like,
here.
Big T, you have any questions?
I guess my only question would be when Billy texted us this morning, he said, let me make sure, I want to make sure I have all this right. He said we had a guest coming on and he said she's an animal scientist and gonna talk about feminism. To which Arian and I put the little question mark reaction.
No. That I did describe it correctly. Originally, when I was DM'd by Liz, and this has been an amazing 30 minutes, Liz, and thank you so much for coming on. We got to be nice to our guests, Big T, and not.
I'm not being nice.
I think he's
asking.
He's being mean to you for just phrasing your initial text in a confusing manner.
No, well, originally Liz caught my eye because she her DM discussed about how the work week is connected to male hormonal cycles, and I really just kind of want to hear about.
Okay, yeah. So
Yeah.
that's good. Let's talk about that, and you can talk honestly about whatever you want. I'm fine with that. That's kind of the
We
purpose
can even
of
take
having,
out that part.
of having a guy of the week.
There's no
on the
need to
show.
take that part out, Billy. I was asking
Billy,
what
stop
she
trying to
would've-
detract from all of our conversations.
This is it's so much harder to deal with humans than it would be if they were just like both dogs in this room, right? Like if there were dogs just barking at each other, I would be able to separate them and put them in their corners. But like just
You should get Billy a crate now that you mention it.
No,
Yeah.
I do not deserve a crate.
Yeah,
That's
no.
just because I'm more mobile.
No, it's just it's for structure, Billy. It's not a punishment. I don't use the crate for structure. I use it for training, or I don't use the crate to punish you. It's not timeout. I'll use it.
it's
just
my,
like
it's
when
my
you-
happy place.
Yeah, it's your
It's
happy.
dark.
I'll make a nice place. I'll put an Xbox in there. Make it comfy for you. Yeah, creatine. I'll put a squat rack in your crate.
This is
Well-
a crate. This room's a crate.
I did suggest my original DM to Billy was asking, like, I think you all should do an episode on like generally like the patriarchy and like how our society is so we don't even realize that all these things or a lot of things are favored towards men, and like a lot of people are like, oh well, you can like get a job and have your own bank account, like what's the problem? So I think like people look at like equality and feminism like as being this really straightforward thing, and it's just not. And so that was my initial DM to Billy, but I am technically an animal science guy.
I
And
like
I
that
did-
idea.
Well, I did tell him, I was like, I'll give you talking points. And then he was like, do you want to come on? And I was like, yeah, what do you want me to talk about? And he said, everything. So I was like, okay, I'll figure it out.
That was more my question. I was just wondering how we got from whatever you said to him to that text message he sent us this morning.
Yeah, so I'll talk about anything, but I did warn him, like, I'm not like a like professional feminism like activist or anything. I'm just like your generic young lib, you know.
So what are some of the things that maybe us as guys don't think about? I know I like an example. This is not really probably a bad example to use because it's just about like I'm right-handed, and so I don't ever think about being right-handed. It's just something that is pretty normal to me. But then when I'm hanging out with like a left-handed person and I'm like writing in a journal like in school, they can't really write in their journals the same way that I can because the spine on the left side takes up like a third of the page when they're writing left-handed. But I don't ever think about that because I'm right-handed. What would something like that be as a guy that we don't think about that affects you in like your day-to-day life?
Well, I mean, I think there's a lot of things. Like, I think you guys have talked on here before about like females having to like look over their shoulder just walking to and from their cars. And I know being in a STEM program, I mean, I'm sure people didn't even realize it, but I was talked down to a lot or like babied. And I was like, I've taken all the same prerequisites as you. Like, why are you questioning me? There's little things like that that I think that you probably don't even realize, but like definitely happen. Another thing that gets me real fired up is like birth control. Like everyone's like, there's a pill, take the pill. You're not going to get pregnant if you take this pill. It's really not that easy of a decision. Like there's a shit ton of side effects that really aren't fun. And like, you could use a condom. I don't know. Like it goes two ways. I think that there's a lot of things like that are, Arian, I'm sorry. I know, why'd you make that face?
We know
My
what.
condom days are over, man.
You guys could all get vasectomies.
No,
They're reversible. Vasectomies are reversible.
Yeah, vasectomies are reversible.
I kind of want to
Not
get
all-
like a
not
recreational
100%.
vasectomy.
No, but I agree 1,000%, man. I'm a super, like, as much as I could be a feminist, like as a man, like I am, it's because like I have daughters, and my mother, seeing my mother grow up, like the thing that really changed when I was like 12 years old was like we was at a bus stop, and I was like, yeah, no, I was younger than 12, I was like 8, and these dudes was like catcalling my mom, and like I couldn't beat them up, and she was just scared, and I was scared. There was nothing I could do, and I'm like, yo, she can't even take a bus with her kid, like, and that shit just changed my entire mind. So I'm absolutely like cognizant. I try to be always like little shit when you're walking behind a woman, she's afraid of you. Like, that's wild to me. Like, and
I never know
I'm,
what to do. Especially
Yeah,
if
yeah,
it's
no,
rescue, I'm like, do I stop?
Because
Like, what do I-
if I speed up, then she's like, oh, he's chasing me. But then
Right.
if I stop, she's like, is he stalking me? So it's like a very weird.
Cross
But
the
I'm
street,
cognizant
yeah.
of it. Yeah. Usually I just full sail like or like I know it's considered rude not to let women go first, like out of the elevator or something. But I always go first because I would rather you think I'm rude for not letting you go first than think I'm creepy for
Like following you.
following you. Yeah. So it's like a really weird thing. But I'm always cognizant that usually I just ask people like or like how does it make you feel, whatever the case may be, without being too like corny about it. But like it's a real thing that y'all got to deal with. Like, and I think I'm sorry. Go ahead. I was gonna go off.
No, I mean, I think you're right. My tips on this is what I like to do. One, if you find yourself in a position where it's like at night or something, a woman's walking in front of you on the same sidewalk, she's like 10 feet in front of you. I like to just pretend that I'm on the phone so that she can hear like where I am, and I'll be like talking to my mom or something on the phone as I'm going past her. So she can
Hey, Mom.
she can hear
Get your
where
son.
Wait, so you
Totally not a
fake
creep.
call your mom?
I have before.
But that sounds like someone who's trying.
no, it's because
Yeah, that
it
sounds a
sounds-
little more sus
No,
than like.
I got a really
Like,
good
you have
one.
a cover story now.
no,
Like,
Yeah.
no. I usually
What, you sneak up to them while fake calling your mom?
No, I'm just like, hey, what's up? How's it going? As I'm walking, so they can hear where I am as I'm going around. I'm not sneaking up on
Totally
anybody.
not following this girl right now.
I've only
No.
done that like twice, but it was only because to try
Dude,
to get around the woman so that she wouldn't feel bad.
last
I
time-
usually cross the street. And go to the other side.
Last time we described this question, you were like, just run by them and say, on your left.
Yeah.
I'm like, no. Honestly, that's what's great about having a dog is whenever I like leave my house late at night. I know this doesn't work when you like come back to the bars or something, like going to get ice cream like super late at night. Just bring your dog. Like no one like if you have a dog on you, like he's walking his dog.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, no
one.
guys have ever used a dog to trap a woman.
You also
Never.
happen to have like I know Whitey is a great dog and we all love Whitey here, but if you don't know Whitey, he
Yeah,
could
but-
be an intimidating looking dog.
But like what there's like you're holding a dog leash, you can't like do anything bad while you have a dog on a leash or the dog runs away. Think about it.
No, I have.
You think I have a trained dog to
Maybe.
like
If you have a
I
gun
think
knife, you could have a trained dog.
I would have a gun knife.
Exactly.
like a guy contemplating the morality of should I let my dog go or kidnap this human?
Yes. Yes, exactly.
No wrong choice here.
Once I got a dog, though, I felt way better because my dog like hates humans and like other than me. So like I feel way better walking around when I have my dog with me because I'm like, no one's touching me because she will hurt
Yeah.
you.
I got both of
Wow, I
my
like dogs.
safety weapons confiscated from me, so now I'm screwed.
Who took your weapons?
The airport and a concert
Oh.
because they're like attached to my keys.
Oh,
And they
Oh,
were-
you got your safety taken at a concert? I feel like that's when you need your pepper spray.
That's what I. Oh
Like-
well, it wasn't a pep. It was maybe a weapon, but
Was it like the little knuckles that you can get as keychains?
It-
I've seen those.
it was like maybe a stabbing weapon.
We should
Oh,
just
it's
keep.
stabbing.
We should keep Maddie stocked with like tons of weapons.
You
I actually
should.
might. I actually might just like buy you like cool weapons and give them to you,
Thanks.
just as like a little like fun hobby. Like
Yeah.
this is
Make-
sick. This
We're
will
gonna
fuck
Knife
Knife
someone
gun.
up.
teach-
Knife gun.
yeah,
Make sure they're legal. Billy gonna have you in the precinct, man.
literally.
have
Billy's
you all
gonna
put
teach me how to use mace.
Have you all put in a bulk order of gun knives yet, or is that like?
We're looking on Etsy.
No, we're waiting on that. That's gonna be my Christmas gift to the whole crew. Is that everyone gets a gun
And
knife.
knives.
Yeah, somebody hit me up on Twitter yesterday and was like, hey, you guys need to quit talking shit about gun knives. They're actually very useful. And this guy had a gun knife.
No,
Didn't look very useful to me.
I'm gonna try to find Mad Dog a pepper spray taser combo, so you can
I like that.
pepper
idea.
spray then taser,
Ooh.
like confuse
Get 'em while they're
them.
down.
Good
Yeah,
combo.
yeah,
Good combo.
just really. That I
like that
think would be
idea.
sick.
I like that. Well, we got to get going because it's nanodosing and we're already at like an hour today. But do you have any questions for us?
No, I'm all good. Billy, do you have any more? I know you said everything. I don't know what's.
Oh,
No, don't worry. You've done.
I am
you've-
curious about the hormonal thing that Billy was
Yeah,
talking about.
I really kind of just want to know, like what is happening 9 to 5. And
So basically, the theory is that male testosterone levels are highest when you wake up. So you feel like early in the morning. So you feel that like energy and you have that focus and you're able to like pay attention more. And then as the day goes on, your testosterone levels get lower, then you start to get a little more tired and you want to just like lounge around and hang out. And so like that's where this like 9 to 5 work schedule comes from. Now, testosterone levels can be impacted by a lot of different things, like taking testosterone or whatever. But I noticed PFT gave Billy a look.
I don't.
Billy,
By the way, I don't
Billy
actually
injects
take-
chemicals subcutaneously
I do not
to himself.
subcutaneously inject. I do not. I'm not
Yes,
on
you do.
TRT.
Now you're
It
just
would be
lying.
so stupid to be 23 and be on TRT.
I didn't say a word about TRT. I'm
but
saying you
or any
inject
sort of other
things-
anabolic.
You inject things into your body.
I take IVs with
Yeah.
certain
yes, okay.
chemicals
Yes,
that
that's literally what I said.
optimize cool stuff.
Well, basically, the female hormonal cycle is in 4 stages over 28 days. So you're more, as women, you're more productive certain times of the month and less productive at other times of the month. And like you have the ability to focus more so at certain times of the month. So basically, all women should have like 2 weeks off in the middle of the month to be their most productive selves, is what I'm advocating for.
Agreed. And men should not mow lawns.
Yeah, no mowing lawns. Everyone stop
Yeah,
mowing
this-
your lawn.
So would that be 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off?
No mowing lawns. Abolish
It
the work
depends on
week.
it depends on
Let's
your
go.
hormonal cycle, because your 28 days might not be lined up with like the days of the month perfectly, you know.
Right.
So it'd have to depend.
That's even better, though. I think that's
Yeah.
that way. You know, the entire workforce isn't missing every woman at the same time. It's staggered.
But what if they all sink?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
I think sinking's a myth.
Yeah, that is a myth.
I saw it on an episode of Modern Family. It's got to be true.
I have experienced
That's a
something
joke.
like it.
That's a joke.
Men
I'm
sink.
joking about the sink.
I think yeah.
Dudes definitely sink
Yeah.
Yeah.
for sure.
If
PFT and I've
nothing,
been
it's
lifting.
vibes.
Yeah, me and Billy get swole at the same time.
That's our cycles are synced.
Yeah, your
Mhm.
swole cycles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. It's T related.
One of the things I thought was funny when I was looking into stuff, because I was like, damn, now I said this to Billy and I actually have to like confirm it's true before I go on this podcast and talk about it. But one of the things that said affected men's testosterone levels was like watching an action movie. And I was like, what? Like, you guys really just get all amped up just
Yeah.
by seeing like some trucks blow up?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Dude, I watched
Just like
the
hearing the
Northman.
phrase "trucks blow
Dude,
up."
I saw the Northman a week ago and I'm still buzzing. If you haven't seen it, your T levels raised by like 10,000%.
Billy
Avatar.
watches also like animal snuff films too. That's
No,
kind of
I
the same
do
thing
not.
as.
I saw. I'm about to unfollow him on Twitter. I follow.
Ew.
Also, this whole time, I only have a burner account. I know that's controversial on here, but I only follow like 10 people, and 10 people only follow me. So like, I don't follow that many people. So Billy's tweets are like the first thing that pops up when I open my Twitter now. And it's just these animals destroying each other.
It's all about the tea. It's all about getting your levels up.
Yeah.
But thank you for joining us. It was nice to meet
Yeah,
you.
thanks, guys.
The first guy of the week. And yeah, thank you for listening.
Thank you
Cool,
so
thanks,
much.
guys.
Thanks,
Take care.
Liz.
Thanks, Liz.
We'll send you some merch in the mail.
Billy will send you a second sweatshirt in the mail.
Cool.
Or a hat. Whatever
Or
you
a,
want to have.
macrodosing hat, maybe.
All right, I'll take a look. All right,
All
right.
thanks, guys.
See ya.
Thanks, Liz. And that was our first dude of the week.
That was your first. Yeah.
Next week, we're getting a Mason on.
I
Okay.
found a place that sells a stun gun pepper spray
Oh,
combo
fuck yeah.
set.
Or can we expense that?
How much is it?
Yeah, I mean, clearly you can't expense
Yeah,
anything.
you can't expense shit.
Yeah, come on. How
I'll
much-
expense it.
You're anti-expense.
No, I'm getting my money's worth from these expense people. Because I mean, think about it. Money is worth less. in
Billy's
a
gonna
month.
start charging our expense people interest.
I am. I actually went up there and said I'm charging interest because it's a month. Money worth now is worth less in the future. That's the whole point of like getting a loan. Like I want my
boy.
principal and interest.
Yo, these anti-grass memes are fire.
They're great.
Yeah,
I'm looking
that's
at
what
these.
made me. That's part of what made me think of it. That went viral the other day, and it wasn't something I had ever thought of. Like we are really just conditioned to mow a lawn.
Yeah, it is.
I want to get moss.
You want to get moss? Live moss?
Moss. No, a nice carpet of moss.
How do you? I might have to inquire with someone about clovering my whole yard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
get some
That
clover.
sounds sick.
Dude,
Especially
find a
for, like,
4-leaf clover like
Celtics in the playoffs.
once a month.
If I clover everything, I mean, we might never lose again.
Yeah, I think you got to. Clover is sick. Get a lot of bees though. Watch out for those bees.
What, friendly bees or
Honeybees.
stinging?
Yeah,
Honeybees.
friendly bees.
Actually,
Okay.
get a beehive. My uncle
Sounds like
is a
work.
beekeeper.
I'm just down for this national
He's-
takedown of HOAs.
Yep.
They're just the bane of human existence.
Sure. Yeah. We can sit him. He's gonna sit on that couch
Yeah,
right there.
District 9, another movie I've only seen in full once. Really good.
really good movie using aliens as like aliens to
It's an allegory.
describe apartheid.
It's an allegory.
Yeah,
Allegorical tale.
Billy's thought process just gets me every time, man.
Yeah.
I just forget
Yes.
words a lot. I don't understand what's like. I used to be so sharp.
23. This is supposed to be the prime. Bro.
I don't know what happened, bro. I see me in a high school
Do you
class.
think it's like your
Hat's too tight.
supplements maybe?
I think I have a constant brain fog.
Not enough circulation.
I think it's interesting that she said that the human male brain, we have the most energy right when we wake up. I think that's cap.
I don't.
I'm calling cap on her.
I mean, okay.
My cap detector is off the charts.
Can I say something? But you can't bonk me because this isn't a bonkable offense.
Yeah,
Huh?
I know what she's about to say. I'll say it so
What?
you don't.
Yeah.
When you're waking up with boners.
Yeah. What's that about then?
It's just a natural process that happens in the middle of
But
the night.
so is testosterone.
Yeah.
I don't think it has anything to do with tea. I think it's just like blood
thought-
allocation.
I feel like penises and tea go hand in
Yeah,
hand.
but like exactly, it's not in our brain.
Great combination.
Actually,
Yeah.
that's facts.
yeah.
Is that facts?
I mean, what she's saying is factually correct. Your T is higher, but it's all your blood is just in the wrong place in the morning. So that's why it's hard to get out of bed.
But I don't think like tea and energy go that hand in hand. I don't know.
Sometimes they do.
So I'm like,
But like when you wake up with the like
I sleep upside down like a bat.
just so you have
I wake up with a brain boner.
head rest.
but that's why, but like, for example, think about it. Then you get out of bed, the blood recirculates, and then like once you're like, it's gone, it's all in your brain.
And then
Yeah,
you're ready to work.
It's just
What if you like wake up in the morning, if you like take Viagra in the middle of the night, so you wake up with like a giant boner in the morning, and then you stand up straight, walk directly into the squat rack as this massive storage of blood that you've got built up drains into your legs, you think you'd be able to lift heavier?
well, yeah. That's why Viagra is a vasodilator. That's why the baseball players were taking it, and also that's why people who are said to take Cialis consistently have less rates of Alzheimer's
Oh, crazy.
because it gets more blood to your brain. Also, as someone who squatted this morning, 375 times 3, went and tried to just
Not that impressive.
but like as someone who once squatted 475, just put that up.
But you
just like,
currently squatted 375 3 times.
yeah, just because I want to see if I still had it. Anyway,
Kind of.
my T is through the roof right now.
Billy's teeth through the roof. He just wanted everybody to know he squatted 375 this morning. Be on the lookout, by the way, for Bro Science.
Yeah,
Bro Rescue.
Yeah, Bro Rescue, Arm Farm Friday. Rescue your bros for being pumped all weekend if your bros aren't pumped.
Get the bros pumped. Okay, I think we got to get going. This has been Nanodosing. Avery, you haven't said a word. Are you down that bad?
I don't know. I really don't know what to say. I forgot what this feels like. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
All right, good luck. Everybody root for Avery. Say something nice about the Capitals as well. Hopefully by the time... wait.
Is she saying,
Arian.
I want to be a canine officer?
So I forgot I wasn't muted. My bad.
No, it's okay. It's all good. Can you ask her who she likes tonight? Florida or Washington?
Come here. There she goes.
I
All right,
forget.
come here.
What's her name again?
Her name's Hendrix, but we call her Henny.
That's a cool name. Those are two cool. She can't have
All right.
both those cool names. Hey,
Yes,
Henny.
she can.
Hey,
Okay.
Hey, Henny. It's Uncle PFC.
So she can't hear you. Definitely have headphones on, bro, as you can see. But here we go. Henny, you got to choose, okay? Washington or Florida?
Yes.
There you go.
Yes. I love her. Thank you, Hendrix. She's so cool. She's so much cooler than you are, Arian.
I agree. Job well done, huh?
Yeah. All right, there you have it. As first reported by Henny, Washington Capitals up 3-2. We're going back to the bar in DC on Friday. We're gonna take it home.
The
then.
worst part about this is if the Rangers lose, I have to be thrown in the Hudson River.
Oh
Are you
yeah,
really gonna do that?
I forgot
There's
about
a bad
that.
part of it. Yeah, that's
Yes,
certainly not a good
very
part of
bad
it.
part.
I know a good spot for you that's downstate.
You think they're gonna come here and I'm gonna be like, let's go downstate where the water's
No,
fresher.
when I say
they're gonna
downs-
throw me.
Downstate is in not upstate.
Okay.
Billy's got
It's where the
great-
river.
I have a question. Are we not the downest of the state you can get?
Yeah, that's
Good
why I said downstate.
So by like you know a great location, you mean
Before-
like literally right there where I'm pointing.
Yeah.
We are at the bottom of the state.
Before we
like that
started
part
the
of
show, before we started the show, I'm like, I gotta get thrown in the Hudson River if the Rangers lose, and Billy's like, I know a place upstate. The water's really clean up there. I'm like, what do you think? Yeah, I'm gonna be like, Whit, let's take a drive an hour and a half upstate so you can throw me in clean water.
No, but I know a downstate spot where the river rats used to swim. It was an old swimming.
That sounds like
That's where you want to go.
a good place to get in the water.
The river rats were people who called themselves the river rats because they'd swim across
Listen,
the river.
the Rangers
Okay.
are gonna win tonight. They have to steal one on the road, and then they're back home for game
What's the
7.
series?
They're down 3-1, but they have 2 home games.
It's a Dane two-goal lead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, I've seen it done before. I've seen it done to PFT's Caps.
No. Why are you bringing me this? I don't need this energy.
Sorry.
Did that happen to the Bruins?
I don't know.
My baby
I
said
don't think I've ever seen the
Washington winning.
Bruins.
That's the end of it. My
That's
baby
it.
Yeah.
said Washington winning.
That's the end. Washington's win tonight. We know it. Avery, you're not going in that river. If you do, though, Billy knows a great spot.
Yes.
Great spot to put a body in a river. Just for the
Yes.
record, that's what Billy's saying.
Okay.
So we will see you guys on Monday. We've got a big guest. Now, are we going to air that on Tuesday?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we might not want to because that guest is going to be on PMT on Friday. We already taped with him
Oh,
for
okay.
the Friday thing. I don't know. Do you? I feel like it would be better for the numbers if we gave it
A
like
week.
a little
A little bit of
space.
space. Yeah. Go.
Is that cool?
That's totally fine.
But we've got a big interview on Monday. Huge interview. Fascinating person.
Oh yeah, I can't wait for that.
Yeah, Billy.
Also, quick, just say Liz was brave enough to come on, and I think she did an amazing job. Everyone, just please, we want to encourage more dudes to come on. So be receptive.
Be receptive. Be receptive. Be curious, not judgmental. Ted Lasso, PFT commenter.
Great show.
Ted Lasso. Great show. Love you guys.